Up to 25% of women of reproductive age are affected by abnormal uterine bleeding. How does this condition impact women? 81% of women find heavy periods disruptive to their sex life. 66% of women feel exhausted when their period is heaviest. 42% of women suffer from depression due to their heavy periods. And abnormal uterine bleeding is the fourth most common cause for visiting a woman's OBGYN. Women continue to suffer from loss of quality of life. So what are the current treatment options? First-line treatment is hormonal therapies like oral contraceptives, hormonal intrauterine devices, namely IUDs, or injections resulting in side effects like headaches, depression, sense of bulkiness, venothrombotic events, to name just a few, and the list goes on. The second line of treatment, and only recommended for older women that finished planning their family, is called global endometrial ablation, an invasive and painful procedure using heat or electricity to ablate the bleeding endometrium that requires a hospital setting, usually involving expensive capital equipment. And while these options are almost 70% effective in reducing or eliminating abnormal uterine bleeding, they are not free from side effects, such as uterine wall adhesions, and always lead to infertility. This results in $12 billion annual indirect costs. If both first and second line therapies are not plausible, these women are immediately taken to have a full hysterectomy or removal of their uterus. An innovative super elastic technology platform called IUB, intrauterine ball, developed by OCON Healthcare. This IUB platform technology is three-dimensional and very small, is flexible with no sharp edges, is inserted just like an IUD with the thinnest insertion tube and a very short learning curve for the physician. It has a built-in safety mechanism to minimize the risk of perforation, a known side effect of IUDs. And it is market validated in over 95,000 women that choose it to use it to date. OCON's three-dimensional platform technology is an ideal carrier for any drug or chemical that can be put on the memory-shaped frame to treat various uterine indications. It's inserted just like an IUD, comes with a built-in safety mechanism that turns away from the fundus and coils into a small three-dimensional ball shape that is flexible and adjusts itself to the uterine size, shape, and contractions. Just like the IUB, the seed is a standalone, disposable, safe, and pain-free solution to abnormal uterine bleeding. It's really a new paradigm of treatment, moving away from harmful hormones and debilitating technologies that leave women infertile and grossly in pain and with a hefty out-of-pocket surcharge. The seed that utilizes the IUB platform stands for Spherical Endometrium Ablation Device. It's a novel, non-invasive ablation therapy for women suffering from abnormal uterine bleeding, and it's currently in phase 2 clinical studies showing very encouraging results. The seed is a 30-minute pain-free procedure in the physician's clinic and is as easy as an IUD insertion, not requiring any capital equipment and with a very, very short learning curve for the physician. The seed gives the endometrium a full reset versus a full destruction compared to global ablation therapies available today. It's non-invasive, pain-free, with no need for general anesthesia or hospitalization. It's shaped for women. It overcomes problems of uterine size and shape limitations. And it's highly cost-effective, with less than half the cost compared to current treatments, creating an additional revenue stream for healthcare professionals. There are over 2 million annual global endometrial ablation procedures around the world, with over 750,000 of those only in the U.S., and the current generation of global endometrial ablation technology was introduced in the early 1990s. Compared to the current global endometrial ablation treatments that are available today, the seed is a standalone disposable drug product and creates a new clinician revenue source because it's an in-office procedure. It doesn't require any capital equipment and doesn't leave a large footprint. We expect the cost of the seed procedure to be well under $2,000 compared to the high indirect costs that current treatments create that are between $3,000 and all the way up to $8,000 US. The insertion itself takes a few minutes. The product stays inside the body for up to 30 minutes, is then removed by pulling on the strings, and the woman is free to go home. The learning curve is very short for the healthcare professionals. The procedure itself is nearly pain-free. There's no hospitalization required or general anesthesia. And the efficacy expected is well over 80%. The product is currently under clinical investigation in a phase 2 study in Europe. The preliminary clinical results are very encouraging. You can see here a PBAC comparison or a blood count comparison between baseline and current PBAC measures. And at the bottom, you can see the patient's status months after the procedure. The purple bar shows the baseline PBAC score. The green bar shows the blood score, which is the improved bleeding pattern. As you can see, across the board, we see very promising results in terms of reduction of bleeding with a simple 30-minute one-time procedure. If we zoom in on one of our first patients, we can see that this woman came in with a PBAC score close to 700, and we were able to reduce her bleeding to below 30 with the seed treatment. Let's look at what that means. A normal menstruation period of 3 to 4 days equals to a PBAC score of around 100. So this woman with a PBAC score of 700 initial was not able to leave the house without at least 2 sets of clothes. She couldn't exercise nor hold a normal day job. This is a woman that can't even shower without having blood drip down her thigh. There is no quality of life for her. With her 30 PBAC score in merely months, a score that is almost a third of what a normal menstruation cycle is like, she got her life back without any question. So the seed is already improving women's quality of life in the women that entered the clinical studies phase 2, and we are excited to continue to follow them for the 12-month duration and report back on these findings. The IUB platform technology has been market validated with the IUB Ballerine that is already improving quality of life of over 95,000 women around the world that chose a non-hormonal contraception. Like the seed, the IUB Ballerine uses the IUB platform technology and is an intrauterine ball using copper for contraception. It's benefiting from the same advantages relating to the IUB technology platform, resulting in a better side effect profile and better safety for increased quality of life. Offering an array of advantages compared to the current traditional and outdated T-shaped treatment options available, with its small size, spherical, three-dimensional shape, the high-tech material used called nitinol, and the thinnest insertion tube on the market today with only 3.2 millimeters in diameter, and minimizes the risk of perforation by nearly 40% with over 99% efficacy in preventing pregnancy and a mere 0.01% ectopic pregnancy rate. That means well over 98% less risk of ectopic pregnancies compared to the current options available. It offers better quality of life for women in terms of bleeding and pain by eliminating the cause of this, which is usually malposition altogether. Because of the spherical shape, the IUB Ballerine will always stay a ball shape no matter which way it turns. So in essence, it cannot be malpositioned inside the uterine cavity. The IUB Ballerine has been proven safe and acceptable in 2 studies on almost 400 women published in a peer-reviewed medical journal in 2019, showing great satisfaction rates in terms of pain and high referral rates to friends or relatives. Healthcare professionals found the Ballerine very easy to insert with little to no need to dilate the cervix. This means one less painful step in the insertion procedure. With our patented platform technology and our products, the Ballerine, a non-hormonal contraceptive, the seed, a spherical endometrial ablation device, and additional products that we have in our pipeline, we're one step closer to revolutionizing women's health while improving quality of life. Thank you for your time. OCON Healthcare.